friends, this is Thaddeus from Going Nerdy, and I gotta say I am excited for 2022, not just because 2020 and 2021 are behind us, but hopefully 2022 will not only be a good year, but it's going to be a great year for Star Wars. Now, there's a lot of things that I could go into, that I could talk about, but what I want to focus this video on is all of the Star Wars, I don't know why I put it in quotation marks, but Star Wars coming to media in 2022. And I got to focus on the 4, maybe 5 shows that are coming to Disney Plus. Now, we aren't going to get a movie anytime soon. I believe the next one that is set to be launched is 2023. But I think there's a lot of stuff being prepared, a lot of stuff that should be on the works, a lot of stuff that should be in the wings. Now, the first show that we have seen, the first show that is coming, is the one that we are in the midst of, and that is the Book of Boba Fett. Now, this is a 7-episode run. It's a little shorter than previous seasons or shows, and so it has, I think, a lot to have to happen for it to be an incredibly successful show. But in reality, as long as they keep showing Boba Fett kicking some butt, I have a feeling that it's going to be pretty interesting. Now, whatever we see from that, I don't know, but it's going to be interesting. Now, next on the list, we don't actually have a time for this, but we've got Kenobi. It is likely that Kenobi is going to be somewhere kind of post-summer or in the summer time, maybe shortly thereafter, and then we'll finish the year with Andor. Those are the 3 live-action TV shows that are set to come to Disney Plus in 2022. But let's not forget The Bad Batch. Bad Batch Season 2 has been approved. It is in production. It's probably at this point in close to end production, post-production, because it is likely that if Bad Batch Season 2 is around the time, or if it launches around the time that Season 1 did, we're going to see it in about April, maybe May. Having said that, May 4th, we're going to get, this year we're getting Star Wars Celebration, which means I think we're going to be getting information on a lot of new things. Now, as far as games go, there's a couple that have been slated for this year, and a couple that could still come this year. Now we got to start off with the one that I cover, Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. It's going strong, whether you like it or not. It's here for a good time. It will be around for a while. It is also time that we are finally going to be getting the Star Wars saga in Lego form. That should be coming sometime in 2022. Now, additionally, we've also seen Star Wars Hunters. This is actually going to be really interesting. It's essentially, the way that I'm looking at this is it's Fortnite, but with Star Wars. And you're going to fight things, and it's going to be Star Wars. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm looking at this the wrong way. But there's a cast of characters that they're going to introduce. Those characters will probably be added to and increased upon. And it's going to be fun. It's going to be exciting. I'm looking forward to this because not only is it available on like your phone and PC, but Switch as well. Now, I have a Switch. I've not really done much on it. So hopefully that's something that, I can actually spend some time in playing on that. Now, will it be good? I don't know. I'm not a huge Fortnite fan. And again, as I'm saying, that's the way that I'm looking at this. So, I don't know, maybe. But the next 3, I think, are going to be really awesome. We've got the Star Wars KOTOR Knights of the Old Republic remake. This is not a reskin. This is not a port into a different platform. This is a full-on remake. Now, they haven't given us a ton of information as to what that will look like. However, I'm freaking excited, right? How are they going to do different things? What are they going to do with the story? Will this now officially make Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic Legends? Or will it take it from Legends and move it into the realm of canon? Are we finally going to see Jedi Knight Revan in Kanan, Malik, all of those characters. Will we see them? I don't know. I'm hoping so. But next up on the list is Fallen Order. Jedi Fallen Order 1, huge success, great gameplay, a lot of fun. If Fallen Order is any indication of what it means to be a Jedi, Jedi are like huge into parkour, right? That's mostly what they do, right? Meditate, train, yes, important. Parkour is life for the Jedi. I don't know, that's what I'm feeling. But it was an awesome game. I absolutely loved it. Number 2 should be out sometime, or could be out sometime in 2022. If it's not, I would say look for it in early 2023. I definitely believe that we're going to be getting a lot more information, as I mentioned, on May the 4th. And like when I'm making this video in the 1st of January, I'm like, oh man, that's so long away. But really, as the days start going by, it's going to fly by. And May the 4th will be here sooner than we think. And I'm just really excited for it. And finally, I've got to say, this quite possibly is the greatest thing to happen to the High Republic. The Eclipse. Star Wars Eclipse. I don't even know what it is. I know that it's going to be set in the High Republic era, right? Which is that 100-year period between or before the prequels, right? Yoda's still alive, like he's kicking it. He's been around for 700 years, right? He's training the younglings. The High Republic is a time period that's not getting a lot of love right now. If you are familiar with it, I think you'll have mixed feelings. And by that, I mean the fandom has mixed feelings. Like, I've read all the books, and they're okay. They're definitely Star Wars. They definitely have that feel of Star Wars. But I can see why people are a little hesitant towards it. And there are some things that are a little iffy, a little off. But let's face it, they're taking a time period. They're creating something from scratch. I can see why people are hesitant. The stories have been fun. I've enjoyed them. But all of that has led to this. And this looks like an amazing game. The graphics, the CGI, like all of it looks so good. And I am so very excited to play it. Now, will the gameplay be amazing? I don't know. It looks like happiness personified into a game, which takes it away from personified and makes, I don't know, like a digital story. It looks awesome. That's the short. Now, jumping from video games, and those are the two things that a lot of people really enjoy, and that's where most Star Wars fans, spend their time. They spend their time in the movies, they spend their time in the TV shows, and then the games. Now, if I personally love the Star Wars novels. There's nothing greater to me than world building, and Star Wars is one of those fandoms, one of those franchises that has done an amazing job at creating different worlds and creating different people and species and customs and whatever. And so for me, comics, but more specifically books, have really been a fun way to develop those worlds, right? And I've really enjoyed that. And there are a number of books. Now, you're going to get a lot of like random stuff like cookbooks and coloring books, and if you look up books coming in 2020, you're gonna get a lot of random stuff. I've even listed a few like junior grade novels, middle grade novels, and these are like those that are a little easier for younger readers. But I'm doing that because some of the ones that we've seen so far have been phenomenal. And I'm looking at Claudia Gray's Falling Stars. It's a junior grade novel, but it is fantastic. But let's go ahead and look at, so right now we've got 3 High Republics that I think are, and I've only listed the novels of the High Republic because there's so many of those coming in that are like junior grade or mid-grade novels. But the 3 novels that are coming for the High Republic era are Fallen Star, which should come out, I believe, January 4th, Midnight Horizon, then Mission to Disaster. Now, this is all focusing in and around Starlight Beacon and all that other crap that's going on. So if you're familiar with it, you're probably excited for it. Now, this is a very interesting time period. I will say, personally, I'm thinking the Chiss are involved somehow. That's just me. The ones that I'm really excited for, starting off, this again is a junior grade novel. It's part of a trilogy, Queen's Hope. Now, the Queen's Hope series, or the Queen series, follows Amidala, right? Her life from royalty moving into the Senate. It's a really interesting storyline, and it takes that time period of her life from her point of view, which is something that we don't necessarily get, right? In Star Wars, we follow Anakin, we follow Obi-Wan, we follow a lot of people, but we don't necessarily, especially in the films, follow Padme. And this gives us way more insight into her mind, into what she's doing. I'm really looking forward to it. Next up is Brotherhood. Now, this is a story, this is a book that will focus on the relationship between Anakin and Obi-Wan, going through all of the experiences they've gone through. This will be an absolutely fascinating book to read. Should come out in, I believe, May 10th. Next up, and this is one that I hesitate to kind of put on the list, but it's called Stories of the Jedi and Sith. Now, this is kind of an anthology of short stories, and what it will do is it will follow different Jedi and different Sith, and obviously it's just going to tell different stories about Jedi and Sith. In the past, not all of these anthologies are great. A lot of them are retellings of different stories that we've seen in the Clone Wars or in Rebels or in other locations. But what I've noticed is there's always one, sometimes two short stories within these anthologies that make these books really worth reading. Usually they tell the story from a different perspective, or they add a little bit of detail to it that makes them fun. But there's always just one or two that really makes the whole book worthwhile. There was one that took place and told the story from a point of view, or told a story from a point of view of a Night Sister who was off planet during the massacre that was the Separatist Night Sister final fight. There were a few others that were just hands down solid. So I'm kind of looking forward to this with some, I don't know, maybe some trepidation, some anxiety, but it looks interesting. Now, finally, and this is what's going to be interesting to me, is this last book coming out in, I believe, mid-June to late July, Shadow of the Sith. This is going to be absolutely phenomenal. I think it's going to have a lot of connections to what is going on in the world of Star Wars and in the world of the Sith. Now, that is one of the areas of modern canon that they haven't spent a lot of time on, and so I'm very excited to see what the Shadow of the Sith will look like. Now, the book list actually stops in August, so there will be more. Usually they hold off one or two novels or novelizations towards the end of the year. I do believe there will be some announcements here probably in the next couple of months about new books that are coming on. This doesn't even go into all of the comics that will be coming out. There's a lot of stuff that's coming that I'm very excited for. But what are you guys excited for in 2022? Do you think we will finally see some new things that will unite the fandom? Or do you think there will be more things that will be divisive? I don't know. Leave a comment in the section below. Let me know what you guys think. This has been Thaddeus from Going Nerdy. Like, subscribe, and share. Check out the links in the section below for any Going Nerdy swag. And, as always, Audible. 1 month, 2 free books, absolutely free. Check out the link. There's, as I've said, some amazing audiobooks out there. Try them. This has been Thaddeus. Like, subscribe, share, and as always, my friends, smile and stay nerdy.